Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for coming back again. As we were doing before, quiz for the children, young boys, young girls. They could be even as far as the young age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, who are fasting in this month of Ramadan of 2022. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for trying and keeping up your fasts. Very proud of you. I'm sure your parents are more than proud of anything else. You're trying to become a good Muslim, practicing your deen, your religion, going to school. If you're off, that's good. If you have holidays, that's good. But if you're still schooling and you're fasting, that's excellent job. You will be rewarded because fasting is one of the pillars of Islam. You're actually following the rules of this religion. You're not fasting because to try how the poor people feel. That's not the main objective. The main objective is fasting is written or prescribed to us, just as we observe prayers. It's a must upon every Muslim. So fasting should become something normal to you. When the time comes, the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, which is Ramadan, you observe fasting. You have learned already since young age, and it's going to be easier. Of course, not as easy as it may seem, but at least it's a commandment from Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward us big time for fasting. So coming back those quizzes for the children, and we are going to start with a question about, there was a prophet that's in the Quran. His story was, he had brothers, they were jealous of him. Somehow in the story it shows they actually threw him inside a well. Who knows the name of this prophet? You can pause the video, answer it and let's see who got it right. If you said Yusuf, Prophet Yusuf, then you are right. Another quiz is, there are two prophets, their father and a son. They actually rebuilt the Kaaba. Now Kaaba is where? What is Kaaba? Kaaba is the building which is where right now in its location is in Mecca. That's where all the Muslims face whenever they pray, wherever you are, whether in a plane, whether you're traveling, whether in your home, whether you're in the east or west or south or north. Whenever you start praying, you have to face the direction for this Kaaba. It's the house of Allah, where all the Muslims supposed to face that direction. And that also brings me to a small quiz on it. What is that direction called? What is that direction called? I'll give you a hint. It starts with a Q. If you have said Qibla, you are right. So every Muslim, whenever they pray, they have to face the Kaaba for their daily prayers. So that Kaaba, which is in Mecca, was built by two prophets. One rebuilt. I mean, it was there before, and somehow there's a history that it had to be remodeled again, but they rebuilt it. What are those two prophets' names? It's a father and a son. Pause the video, answer it, check with your siblings, your friends. If you have said Ibrahim and Ismail. Abraham in English, and Ishmael in Arabic is Ibrahim alayhi salam and his son Ismail. You got it right. There's a famous dua, since also we are still in Ramadan and you are fasting. There's a famous dua that the Prophet ﷺ taught Aisha, his wife, when she asked, what shall I say if Laylatul Qadr comes, or it's there in that night and I'm doing my prayers and I'd like to get dua from Allah accepted? What was that famous dua? It's short, very short dua. Anybody knows? If you said Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, you got it right. Sometimes you could also say Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni, Allahumma innaka afuwan tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. The minute you say fa'fu anni, you are asking pardon from Allah for yourself. Anni, it means me. Anni, fa'fu anna, you're making it for everyone, which is better that way. So you got it right. Now, coming back to the calendar of Islamic calendar, after the Eid, after the Ramadan finishes, we will observe Eid. What is that Eid called? What's the name of that Eid? Immediately after we finish Ramadan, you know, we may have fasted 29 days or 30 days, depending on the citation of the crescent. The next day becomes Eid. What is the name of that Eid called? Eidul. If we said Eidul Fitr, you got it right. Now, remember, every time you celebrate the Eid, after 2 months, there's going to be another Eid, and it has a very big significance in our lives. And it's also some sort of a commemoration. It's like remembering what happened before. And that Eid is called what? After Eid al-Fitr, there's another Eid. Because Muslims, we have 2 Eid yearly. Yearly, we have 2 Eids only. We don't have any other Eids. We don't celebrate any other Eids. Other people may celebrate wherever you are, whether it's Christmas, whether it's, they call it different names, Valentine's, Halloween, anything, any kind of other rituals they do. They have theirs, and we have ours too. Even the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when he was living, the other people among him, the Quraysh, the tribe who were there, who were not Muslim, they were worshipping idols. They had their own occasions, but Allah gave him 2 Eids. So what's the next Eid called after the Eid al-Fitr? It's going to come on the 12th month of the calendar. If you have said Eid al-Adha, you are right. And if you said Eid al-Hajj, you are also right. Because they do have 2 names, it's the same thing. Eid al-Hajj, because it comes from the name of the month itself, Dhul Hajj. So when Dhul Hajj comes in, so let's say tomorrow is the first month of Dhul Hajj, the date is 1, and then the next day will be 2, the 3rd day, the 4th day, the 5th day, until you reach the 9, and then after the 9 comes 10. So the 10th day of Dhul Hajj becomes Eid al-Hajj. Muslims celebrate again. Some of them, they have already went to do the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, the same place I told you before. They go to the Kaaba, they do all these rituals, and they gain a lot of good deeds, and the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala most the glory. Allah, the most glory, said, whoever performs Hajj and he does it properly the way he's taught by the Prophet ﷺ, when he comes back, let's say you are in any part of the world, you travel to there and you come back, you perform your Hajj, you come back with no even a single sin, as if you were born today, clean. If you had any wrongdoings before, you're forgiven, all of it. As long as you went there and you did it the right way, you didn't make any mischief, you didn't make any problems with anybody else, you only went there to please Allah. That's why it's very important. So when they are there, the other Muslims all over the part, they are actually celebrating Eid al-Hajj. Other name is Eid al-Adha. So they are the same. Maybe I'll put on a couple of more and see how well you are. And see a quiz about prayers. Since we pray every day, I want you to tell me how many body parts that touches the ground when you are supposed to make sujood. Do you remember this? Has anyone taught you? Have you ever been taught in the madrasa you go, or you have maybe read the books? In our body, we pray. When we pray, our salah is mostly motion. You know, we raise our hand, Allahu Akbar. We put our hand on between the navel and the chest, and we read Fatiha. Then we bow down, which is called ruku', and then we come back, Sami Allahu liman hamida, and then we go all the way down. We prostrate. We put our forehead. Now, if you say only the forehead touches the ground, then it's wrong. I would like to give you a chance here. Think how many body parts supposed to touch, and then we can explain those body parts. If you already know, say it, and we want to know. Now, if we say 7 parts of your body touch the ground, you are right. Now, the 7 parts of the body parts that touches the ground while you're doing your prostrate, you're doing your sujood. Now, the forehead and the nose is considered as 1. Okay? Your 2 hands, when they touch the ground, facing the Qibla, your fingers, 2 and 1, remember? 1, 2, 3, those are 3 already now. Your knees, both knees are touching, that's another 2. So we have 2 and 2 and 1, that's 5. And then your toes, remember your toes at the back, they're also facing Qibla because they're bended in a way, but they're facing the Qibla. 1 toe on the right, toes on the right, on your legs, your feet, and the other side, they're also 1 and 2. So we have 2, 2, 2, and 1. So 7 body parts. So if we said 7, you are absolutely right. So we are going to end on this note, and inshallah, I have learned something and you have learned something too, and let's make dua for each other. Remember, children, don't think dua is only made by old people. You can also make dua. Allah can listen your dua and hear your dua anywhere you are. Anywhere you are. So anything that you want, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Always. So, inshallah, maybe I'll see you next time with another quiz, and hopefully it has been a good educational for me and you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care.